Sofia. On the 6th of September 2022, I set out on my biggest solo trip yet. 4 months of work and holiday in Australia. Last episode, we covered the first 3 weeks at my new job that would support my future traveling. Dealing with high-strung thoroughbreds was revealing itself to be a great challenge, and my limits were being pushed like never before. On my second weekend off, it was time to make my way to Sydney. I was feeling excited about it, as it would be my first time visiting the city. Well, good morning everyone. Today is the 15th of October of 2022 and it's Saturday. It's 10 a.m. and I am in Sydney, Australia. That's right. I made it to Sydney, which is like really weird for me because Sydney has been like this city that, I don't know, it always seemed quite exotic in a way, I think, and like a very distant place, and now all of a sudden I am here, which is really weird. I don't have any sort of a plan. I don't have anything prepared. I mean, I kind of have a really rough plan in my head, but that's just it. I feel like a train just ran over me. Actually, a lot of trains just ran over me and I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time, so I'm just going along with it. For an European girl with way too many dreams of traveling, Sydney always felt like an out-of-reach, kind of exotic place. Those places you only get to see in movies and TV shows. But there I was. The first place I ended up in was Bondi Beach. I felt such great vibes there that it quickly became one of my favorite places.
To see you, ride for hours just to please you. You don't know how much I need you, 'cause you're my home away from
Bondi became a special place for me because I sort of found this kind of safe haven feeling over there. I finally allowed myself to unwind and relax from the tiring work days, and also because I think it was the first time I deeply realized how good I was treating myself. I had a great lunch alone at the bar close by, and I remember I was intentionally doing that as an act of self-love. And that feeling meant a lot to me, especially since the hard breakup I had earlier that year. I was actually feeling exhausted that weekend. I was not managing to sleep well, and I felt frustrated for not having enough energy to visit as much of Sydney as I would have liked to with the time I had available. But I was allowing myself to be gentle with my body. I'm that type of traveler that wishes to see everything as efficiently as possible. So in that moment, I was learning to slow down. I was learning to listen to my body and respect it. But yeah, it's really weird like being here at Bondi because it's one of those things that you see only in TV shows and stuff like that, and movies, and then suddenly when you're there and actually seeing it in person is very strange. I might go to the city center because I want to see that area of the rocks and the opera house, kind of like just going with the wind, but I'm just trying to recharge my batteries, so I'm kind of like taking it slow, you know? That is how I started sea backpacking, going with the wind. Only after someone at some point called me a backpacker did I start to integrate that I was it, a backpacker, which that day made it to the world famous opera house. This is where I am now. It's called the Circular Quay. It's from where you can get the ferries, you have the buses, you have the trains, and you can see the bridge from here, and the opera house is somewhere along that area, which is where I'm going now. So strange seeing this all in person. Most of this felt like a dream. I was living my backpacking dreams. I have traveled before, but Australia was proving to be a whole different and unique challenge. Maybe because I was so far away from my birth country. Maybe because it was my first time working a job abroad. Or simply because of the timing of this adventure in my life. Never had I ever felt my life so out of control. So strange and difficult, yet so incredible and mystical at the same time. To feel so tired I couldn't sleep, but to feel so grounded and grateful at the same time. What nobody tells you about traveling solo is that it strips you from any mask you may have put on since your childhood years, and all it leaves you with is your raw essence. It is an open door to seek for your truest self. What you find deep inside is not always pretty, though, and I was being faced with quite a few demons.
Just do as they say. Let it all go, flow down the river. The gaslights dim up bright.
The next day, I did the beautiful coastal walk from Bondi to Bronte Beach. I had another bad night's sleep, so I took it really slow and took the chance to eat healthy, slow down my mind, and meditate. My work at the farm wasn't actually going too well due to some interpersonal issues, so I wasn't sure how I was feeling about everything. My mind was so full of my recent life events that I wasn't thinking so much about my past. Certain things didn't bother me as much as before. I accepted I had to let it go, but on another hand, it felt a bit sad. No matter what I felt though, life goes on, and it was going so fast. It had been a month and a half since I arrived in Australia. Like the waves of the ocean, things, experiences, and people come and go. So I guess I didn't have to be so afraid of everything. Not afraid of my job, myself, of missing out. Not afraid of not experiencing everything I wanted. Not afraid of letting go of control. Trusting the universe would bring me everything that I needed.
Yeah, isto está a ser... Eu nem sei. Está a ser uma das cenas mais intensas que eu alguma vez fiz na vida. E eu juro, eu às vezes nem sei bem onde estou, nem quem sou, nem o que é que se está a passar.
As Sunday came to an end, it was time to go back to my workplace. I had a feeling of uneasiness hovering over me. It is frustrating having to accept that not everything goes according to plan. I wanted to grab the whole world within the palm of my hand, but I was only human. And only then I realized how incredibly hard it is to learn to fly without ever looking down.